Hello, dear aspirants. Welcome back to Goldfinch IS and KS Institutes. And today we're going to discuss about one important topic, that is Election Commission of India's new initiatives for accessible voting. Because every year, whenever the polls come into picture, that is election come into picture with respect to the Lok Sabha elections or with respect to the Rajya Sabha elections, and the election commission will be bringing new initiatives and new changes into the voting process, and out of them and very important process they have introduced here. So this video is talking all about it. Then what are you waiting for? Let's start the video. The Election Commission of India, first of all, has launched several initiatives to ensure accessible voting. This is very important, which means each and every individual should be easily access the voting facilities. It is for all citizens with a special focus on elderly voters and the persons with benchmark disabilities. Right? What is the motto of the Election Commission of India? The motto is very simple: no voter is left behind, which means everybody should have the opportunities to vote. This is the main motto or the idea on this. And this underscores its commitment to inclusive and accessible elections in the country. And voting from home for elderly and the PWDs, so how they can vote? This is very, very important. Actually, the ECI has announced that voting above 85 years of age, that is the elderly one, and persons with benchmark disabilities with a 40% benchmark disabilities can vote from home as well. So these two people are eligible, that is above the age of 85 years and 40% disabilities, right? And this initiative aims to make the voting process more convenient and accessible for those groups of voters who may face difficulties in reaching the polling stations. Correct? No, because 85 years and above, they're very difficult to reach the polling stations, and the benchmark disability people also very difficult to reach the polling stations. How they can do this? Through the postal ballot facilities. How it works? They have to fill up the form 12D first, right? And they have to submit it into election commissions within 5 days of the release of the poll notifications, right? They have to submit 12D, you understand, form 12D. Then the polling staff will visit the voters residence and they will accept their vote, which means the polling staff only visit their houses and they will accept their vote. This is a fantastic program, actually a new initiative introduced by Election Commission of India, and that is one initiative. And next initiative, if any voter or any old age people wanted to come near and vote in the voting polls only, and they will be provided with some of the volunteers will be working, and wheelchairs will be kept ready at the polling stations to facilitate them, right? And it is also a transport facility for PWDs and elderly voters to help them reach the polling stations. If they want to utilize the facilities, they can utilize. Okay, yeah, otherwise they can still vote from their home, right? And this initiative aims to remove barriers to voting that may rise due to lack of transportation or mobility issues, right? This is a fantastic idea, because as I told you earlier, always the Election Commission of India doing something new, right? And Saksham app is actually developed for physically handicapped or challenged people. It is launched the Saksham app, very, very important, remember, because sometimes question may come: Saksham app related to what? Saksham app is the facilities, or it is going to facilitate the PWDs in terms of voting, polling their votes, right? And help them avail facilities at polling stations. And app provide information on accessible polling stations, available facilities, and assist for PWDs, right? And also one more program is there, that is know your candidate. It is not know your customer, it is know your candidate. In addition to accessible voting initiatives, the Election Commission of India has launched the Know Your Candidate app to enable voters to access information about the candidates' criminal records and assets and liabilities. See, for example, before you go and cast a vote, this can be used by everybody, and because you'll be knowing the criminal background of the candidate, and what is the declared asset by the particular person, and all these will be available. Keeping that in mind, you can take your decisions, right? And what are the important facts for the examination? Very simple, as I told you earlier. Saksham app, which is dedicated for PWDs, right? And it is see, listen, it is very important here. It is developed in collaboration with the Department of Empowerment and Persons with Disabilities. This is a department, and this particular department works in the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, that is Government of India, right? And also there is one more program, one more initiative introduced by the Election Commission, that is a Braille ballot papers. Braille meaning something like this, the marks will be there by, by just feeling this mark they will identify. Okay, Braille language, right? That is for visually impaired people, those who cannot see, right? And that paper is being introduced, and Braille voter identity cards are being introduced to assist visually impaired voters. So that's it for today's news article. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.